Stay frosty and check out redzonecoins.com for the cheapest, fastest coins on the market. Use code DIRECTOR at checkout for 10% off. Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the Director. You guys notice anything different? I mean, it's gotta be obvious. I think I gained a little weight. Now we finally got the haircut. The quarantine hair is gone. Decided to chop it all off this morning. Honestly, it's great. It's a bit drafty up there, but we're cleaning up a little bit. Today we got a really interesting video for you Madden Ultimate Team fans. We're gonna be talking about card art and the history of card art in Madden Ultimate Team, how it's evolved, and how we ended up where we are now. We're gonna show you guys the best look that you're gonna get at the new card art. Nothing exists, you know, outside of my channel that's in high definition of what to expect. And you guys know I do a lot of card art, you know, in Madden, okay? I put it all over Twitter, you know, I post it all the time. If I can create a player that the people want, if I can create a player that I want to see, at least to fantasize about it, maybe get people to rally behind it, get some support, like, yeah, you know, Mike Williams needs a card. I can create something like a visual aid to promote those ideas of certain cards, certain, you know, overalls, archetypes, whatever, okay? And so I have a real respect for card art. I think it evolved into something pretty cool. Honestly, I think the designs that we have right now, this is one of my designs, by the way, for Theme Diamonds, you know, maybe some guys that we can get in Madden 21, who knows. But I don't hate this design. But Madden 21, they released what the new card art looks like, and I'm not a fan. So let's go through the history of the card art here really quick, and I'll show you guys some of the ideas that I have for the card art in Madden 21. Maybe, you know, they can rethink what they're doing. I don't think it's possible at this point, you know, redesigning everything from the ground up. They do so much card art, you know, in advance, and they're gonna have to really plan ahead with what's going on in the world right now. So anyway, let's go over this, guys. Before we do, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this Madden content, the small amount of time you guys take to hit the like and sub and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video. All right, dudes, so let's take a look at the very beginning here. Madden 10, the first time Madden Ultimate Team ever came out, blew the minds of a lot of people. It was a concept that people were excited about. Oh my god, we can put together whatever team we want. I don't know if card art was at the top of their priorities. It was more of getting those items out to people. And I think back then, you know, they were still getting their feet wet. You know, they're still, you know, experimenting, seeing, you know, how they're going to make this whole thing work. It was a little bit simpler. So maybe you didn't see as much information on the cards. One thing I don't like is the contracts that I'm seeing on there right back. That brings back horrible memories. If you guys don't know what contracts are, don't look it up. It was horrible. It was horrible. But the card art in Madden 10, very, very simple. Okay, it was a new concept. The guys are coming out, you know, trying to get the whole game mode to work. So, you know, the simpler, the better. Going to Madden 11. Madden 11, basically the same thing. I have to imagine they were focusing more on the functionality of the mode, the format of the mode. And so, again, the card art was kept pretty simple. But at the same time, it catered to a lot of us that, you know, collect real NFL cards. You know what I mean? They were simple enough for us to understand. All right, let's move to Madden 12. Madden 12, things are, you know, shifting a little bit. A little bit more information on the card, maybe. I don't know. You got player first, Cedric Benson, contracts 10, halfback, 81 overall. I think in Madden 12, they were doing a whole bunch of promos and stuff too that had their own custom graphics and stuff. So maybe the lower overalls that we're seeing right here aren't the best representation of what Madden 12 was. But again, very simple. Madden 13, they start stepping up a little bit. All right, and I don't know if this was the point that there was a change in mentality, but I know that EA, if you look at their Twitter and stuff like that, they call everything player items. They don't call them cards. And I think the reasoning behind that is so that people, when they play the video game, don't get their cards or their player items confused with actual cards that we collect in real life, because this is physical. I keep this forever. In Madden, whatever you'd have in like Madden 20 all goes away in Madden 21. So it's not really a card if you don't get to keep it, right? So this is where I feel like that kind of mentality started shifting. Oh, these aren't cards anymore. These are player items. Cool. So with that, they started, you know, stepping up some of their, you know, graphic design with that. You see behind Justin Blackmon there, one of the tragic stories of the NFL, with the actual Jaguars logo behind him. There's this cool like carbon texture, you know, behind the name, behind the player, kind of a color hue, kind of cool. And on top of everything, you got this new border, you know, surrounding it. Kind of this like, I don't know, like a ruby sort of crystal kind of border, signifying that it's a rare card. You know, we're tearing these guys out now. On the left, you see Robert Griffin III, golden tickets. We have custom graphics for the actual promos themselves. Pretty cool. And then the 3 stars on the right, I don't remember what that was for. But you also see more information. 99 quarterback, RG3. You see the 3 stars. You see +2 catch, +2 play. I think that's pass block. And I think that was part of the Motivators promo. Then you have player, and they have their name. Okay, so more information now on the cards. They have a different border. Let's move into Madden. I think 25 was next. Yes, 25. Madden 25. Technically Madden 14. Things kind of shifted again. All right, the corners of the left and the right, the top and the bottom, are kind of cut off. And that's kind of cool. It's a cool design element. And then you have this weird crystal coming off the left side, signifying that it's an elite card. Again, kind of this crystal ruby kind of thing, telling you that it's an elite tier item. But again, way more information on the front of the card now. 99 overall, wide receiver. You got the chemistries. You've got the graphic for the promo. You've got the name on the bottom left with the team logo. And then they have this cut off Madden 25 like shield up there. And then they also started showing the back of the cards, I think on Twitter and stuff like that, with the player stats. Cool. I think it's got a little bit more complicated, but cool. Okay, we're taking a step in the right direction. That's awesome. I don't know if that's, in my mind, if I would think, hey, that's a player item instead of a card. I think all of us think they're cards, and I think that's going to be the situation forever. They want us to think they're player items. And I think they dedicate themselves to that idea a little bit more later. Let's go on to Madden 15. Madden 15, they simplified things a little bit. At least I think they did. Maybe this is not like the full view. Anyway, you got Michael Vick right there, 99 overall. The player takes up most of the card. That's what I like to see. I think when you have player or card art, the player themselves should be, the focus of the card. I love the textural background. It's kind of this grunge kind of paint splatter kind of thing. Cool. Get the information on the front of the card, not taking up too much attention. You'll notice that the LP and the SR are kind of see-through. All right, and that puts more attention on Michael Vick in the middle. That's great. You got the little logo on the top of NFL Ultimate for Ultimate Team. You got the logo, and you got the 24 hours. Very cool. I like the design of this card quite a bit. Again, it puts most of the focus on Michael Vick, as it should. Go to Madden 16. Again, Michael Vick. I'm not gonna. Let's blow this one up a little bit. Madden 16. They still have that corners coming off the left and the right. Interesting. You've got a new design for the flashbacks in the bottom right. I like that's where they put the actual promo that they're coming from. You got the chemistries. You got the 2012. Very simple. Again, Mike Vick is taking up most of that card. That's great. I like that. I can dig that. Let's go to Madden 17. This is where things get a little interesting. No more is that, thing coming out of the top left and the bottom right, and more of like an actual card item here. This is where I was really into Madden Ultimate Team, by the way. I think I started in Madden like 13, kind of fiddled with it until maybe Madden 15 or 16. Madden 17 was like my first huge year. Okay, I think Madden 16 was my first huge year. Champ Bailey, taking up most of the card right there. That's great. Chris Harris Jr. taking up most of the card. Again, the information all around it, beautiful. Now we got that player cap up on the top left-hand side of the card too, with the graphic from the promo on the bottom left next to the name. I like that. Simple yet effective. Player takes up most of the card. Madden 18. This is the shift where we started seeing what Madden cards are turned into today. You guys are very familiar with this. You got that weird block on the top right with a 99 overall quarterback. You've got the chemistries, kind of on this, blacked out line beneath it with the team chem. You got the actual chem, the player chems, and then you got the name and some information on the bottom. This is cool. I like that. I mean, as far as separating yourselves from, what actual NFL cards are to player items, that can work for me. That's cool. I like that. There's carbon texture all over it. The backgrounds kind of took a step up. You got the names of the teams everywhere. This is for the NFL draft promo. Very cool. Very cool. All right, Madden 19. More of the same. Pretty much the same as Madden 18. Madden 20, again, pretty much the same as what we saw the year before, except for the top right block is now kind of like blocked out. It's instead of a slant, it's a square. All right. Madden 21. I don't know what happened, dudes, but here's what we're working with. All right. This isn't 100% confirmed, but I took this screenshot out of Madden 20 for the Rookie Premiere promo. They said, hey, go ahead and finish this Joe Burrow set in Madden 20. This is what you're going to get in Madden 21. And there's the card art. I don't like this. I don't like the design of what they're going with. And maybe this isn't a proper representation of what's going to happen. You guys know that I've been pushing for animated card art for a long time. And there's been some barriers. Right now it's hard enough just to load the actual card art in game. You'll normally see that, filler card. The placeholder of like the blank player. Because it's hard. It's hard for the game to keep up. With the new gen, it'll probably be a lot easier to load in those items, to load in all that art, and they could possibly start doing some animation. The reason I bring this up is because this could possibly be the format for something animated, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that Joe Burrow is pushed all the way to the left and there's all of this dead space on the right. It doesn't make sense to me. But again, there's a possibility that maybe it like slides into place, and maybe this is the best way I can show you guys how to do this. So you'll see Phillip Rivers right there, right? You see him right there. Maybe that dead space that you're seeing on the right side of Joe Burrow, maybe it like slides open, kind of like that. That's, at first glance, that's kind of what I thought that this was, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to have all that dead space. So this is the highest quality photo I could find. I decided to remake this format in Photoshop to kind of give you guys more of a high definition look of what this could be. And this is kind of my interpretation of what the Legends promo could look like. So this isn't real, okay? I Photoshopped this to give you guys a more high definition look. The logos aren't real. The only thing that came from Madden 21 is the actual design of the card border. Again, which is weird. It's weird that it takes up half the card. You don't need that much space to tell me that it's LaDainian Tomlinson, that he's an elusive back, that he comes for the Chargers, and that he's with the Legends promo and his overall. You don't need to take up half the card. You don't need to block out LT. It's weird. Oh, and also keep in mind the back of the card, I designed that like completely. We don't know what the back of the cards look like yet, so I put that together just as a placeholder until we actually see the back of the cards. All right. This is weird. And like I said before, what I like about the other cards is that it features the player. The player is the focus of the design. Here, it's like split custody. It's like half the card, you're going to get some information, and you're going to get way too much space for that information. And on the left, you're going to have the player. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So I got asking myself, director, what would you have done? You know, if you were in charge of designing the cards, the player items, what would you have done? And so I came up with a couple of different things to show you guys, okay? And again, I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if this is, you know, something that animates where it's more open and LT takes up most of the card. I don't know what this is. This is just what we have, okay? If it were me, I would love taking a retro approach to Madden 21, okay? And this is very much so influenced by the real life cards that you see today, and more so what you saw in the past. Retro. Okay, it's something familiar and nostalgic. You'll notice in this design, you know, we've got some foil lettering, Core Elite, 85 overall, San Francisco, and the archetype logo. All right, that's familiar to me. That's really cool. You know what I mean? Again, Nick Bosa, the player, is taking up most of that card on the front, at least. That's cool. You know what I mean? The background design is simple enough, and this is just for the core elites, you know. I don't have time to do all the different, you know, promos and stuff, but that's cool. You know what I mean? The color scheme matches the team. That's cool. It's kind of got this worn, you know, like texture on top of it. It makes it feel like it's been used. It looks like it's seen some action. Okay? And that marries the concept of Madden and real life player cards. So all of a sudden, these cards that we've been collecting for a long time are seen in game. You know what I mean? And again, it breaks the rule of player items versus player cards. But why not just call them cards? You know what I mean? We're at that point in MUT already. We know what MUT is. Let them be cards. Let them be simple. Let them be nostalgic. Let them be retro. Have your own identity. You know, rather than this weird kind of design of like taking up most of the card. I get it that it's kind of futuristic. It looks like it belongs in a video game. I think this would be pretty cool too. I put together another one, Joey Bosa. And again, you'll see the color design elements there. Joey Bosa, you got the blue background, 86 overall. You got that, you know, the shine to some of the lettering, signifying that there's some rarity to it. And as time goes on, as more of these cards come out, you could put different cool design elements behind it. For example, here, you know, you got just your regular card, which could be kind of like, you know, a normal, you know, base card. You could have something that's kind of see-through, you know what I mean, that kind of goes into the background of the game. Maybe that's a bit of a rare card. Maybe something even with like a patch on it or something like that, a piece of jersey, you know, signifying the rare of the card. That's all a little bit, you know, out there, but at the same time, it's ideas. You know, it's ideas that's familiar to people. Okay, and we can simplify it. I think it's cool, and I don't know. I really prefer something like this than something like this. And again, I don't mind this if it has more of a design element like that, where the player takes up most of your attention when you look at it. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I put this together just for fun, but I decided to let's go ahead and make a video on it. I posted them on Twitter if you want a closer look at these graphics. Very interesting. I would love to see something retro like this. I would love to see something where the player stats are just super simple on the bottom of the card. You got Joey Bosa up there still. Very simple stuff. And tell me what you guys think of the new design for Madden 21's Ultimate Team cards. I'm not a big fan. I think it's too late to change it. They've probably already made so many cards, it's probably too late to go back now. And hopefully, like I was saying, they open up and that's not what they really look like. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the Photoshop, hit us up with a like and sub. It's much appreciated. We're on the road to 20,000. Keep in mind, too, in the next couple of days, the case for my new computer is going to be here, which means I need to start moving a bunch of assets from my current editing system to the new system. So it may take a couple of days. Content may be a little bit slow, but we're hoping to be up and running by, the middle of next week with a brand new editing system so we can step up the editing. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time, and as always, stay frosty.